Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Miss Van Loan, and in this lesson, we're going to be talking about the elements, the principles, and the different types of content. So, in lesson 2, you learned about the elements of design. In lesson 3, you learned about the principles of design, and now we're going to put it together using different categories or different types of content elements. To do this, we're going to play a game. And I have 3 examples to show you of me playing this game. Now, I was using my phone to record the second half of this video, and I couldn't use my random number generator app. So I made a dodecahedron. It's just a 12-sided die, and I numbered it 1 through 12. Now, we don't have 12 categories or 12 elements or 12 principles, but I figured with a 12-sided die, I could roll it, and then if I get too high a number, I'll just, roll it again. So if you don't want to take the time to make a 12-sided die, you can just use a random number generator, and it will allow you to pick a random number between whatever numbers you decide to put in there. So without further ado, let's write down the elements and the principles, and then we'll talk about some different categories or types of content that you can use, and then we will play the game. So to start, I'm just going to title my page with 3 categories: elements, principles, and content. Now, I do have this video sped up just to kind of save some time for you. But if you want to just pause it at particular moments and write down all of the elements, all of the principles, and then all of the content so that you have it in your notes in one concise place, that would be great. The elements, according to our graphic design standards, are color, line, shape, form, texture, size, and value. The principles are balance, contrast, alignment, rhythm, repetition, movement, harmony, emphasis, and unity. Now, when talking about elements of content, there are no set standards for what are the elements of content. So when coming up with these different examples, I thought about what are the things that we are trying to communicate in art and design. And these are the different categories I came up with. Feelings or mood. We're trying to sell a product or explain a product or tell something about a product. We're trying to communicate a brand or a brand identity. We're trying to communicate an identity, someone's identity. Values, something that we value either as a person or a society. Maybe ideals, things that we hold in ideal, which is very similar to value. And then thinking about values and ideals, I thought about ideas. So maybe we just want to communicate an idea. Then we have events and stories. So we sometimes have art that communicates an event that happened or a story. So we're going to play a game now. And to do this, we're going to start with 3 categories: what for the elements, how for principles, and why is our content. Then we need to number each of the elements, each of the principles, and each of the content from 1 to however many there are. So for elements, 1 to 7, principles, 1 to 9, and content, 1 through 10. Then take out your dodecahedron dice if you've got one, or you can just download a random number generator app or search for one on Google and type in numbers 1 through 7 for elements, 1 through 9 for principles, and 1 through 10 for content, and then pick a random number. Once you get your number for each one of these categories, you're going to write it down. Great, I got texture, balance, and brand. So now I'm going to try and come up with some sort of design or drawing that just puts these together. This is just a quick little exercise to see if I can put these three different things together. And also, when we are designing or when we are making art, we don't use all of these in every single drawing. So you can pick 2 or 3, or we can just do 1 as we're doing in this example. So for me, thinking about texture, balance, and brand, I decided to create a little cactus plant. And because it's a brand, it's going to be for a company called Spike. So I have a balanced composition where it is completely symmetrical on both sides, and then at the bottom I'm writing the company name, Spike. Now, obviously, if this was going to be a finished product, I would need to take it into a design program, clean everything up, and make it look awesome. But this is just for practice, so it doesn't need to be perfect. All right, let's do it again. I'm going to find my next set of element, principle, and content. So in this case, I got color, emphasis, and ideals. Color, emphasis, and ideals. So when trying to think about emphasis through color and then pairing that with ideals, I thought about what some people might think of as one of their ideals. And something that is kind of a hot topic that a lot of people are talking about is food, right? So I thought about vegans versus meat eaters and how a lot of people eat meat, but some people think that their ideal is to only eat plants. So I decided to draw a whole bunch of T-bone steaks where everything is red, or at least the dominant color is red, and then use green and make it stand out through color. All right, round 3. What are we gonna get? Form, repetition, values. Very similar, but that's okay. When I think about values, I think about family values. For some reason, that's just the first thing that comes to mind. So my drawing that I'm going to make has something to do with that. And it was very difficult because I have to communicate these family values that I'm thinking about through the repetition of forms. Well, drawing and shading globes or spheres has always been really fun, something that I enjoy. So I decided to start with spheres and then just draw different size spheres. So I'm repeating the shape, but drawing them in different sizes in order to communicate this idea of family. And I have this on high speed, so we can just kind of zip through here. I mean, I could just skip all the way to the end, but I know that a lot of people really enjoy watching these drawing videos, so I decided to leave it in here and just put it on fast forward. And there we have it. That is what I came up with. Hey, no judgment, okay? It's alright to be weird. And that's it, guys. Feel free to pause the video here so that you can see this ending screen and go ahead and roll your own dice. Use your own random number generator to go ahead and make your own combinations. I want to see your drawings. All right, have fun.